Hey everyone, it's Porsha from Porsha and Friends. I got my good friend Kenneth with me. Okay, so today I want to share something really personal and exciting. My latest creative project. Now, if you followed me for a while, you might know that I have serious doubts about religion and whether there's a higher power or not. But despite all that, I just poured my heart out into this project. Something unexpected, a full-length album called Dharma Saints under the name Shepherd Crusher. And guess what? It's out right out now. The link is in the description. The whole journey started with a simple idea, and before I knew it, I grew into something complete, something I'm genuinely proud of. Unlike the other project, Eternal Rage, which I had created a single for, which has had its struggles, I would say it's just flowed from the beginning. The songs came together, the energy was there, and before long, I knew it. I finished an album. Now, the wild part, I did everything myself. I recorded the tracks, mixed and mastered them, writing my own dual logic. And then for the album cover, I turned to Leonardo AI to help bring my vision to life. And then I used DistroKid to get it out to the world. And boom, Mama Saints was officially released on Tuesday, July 15th. I didn't stop there. I thought, why not try to make a music video? And let me tell you, it was a really hard, daunting task. But I took it step by step. First, I went to Chat GPT to brainstorm a script. I ended up throwing most of that out. But hey, it gave me a starting point. Then I used Leonardo AI's video feature again, along with some free stock footage sites to generate visuals. I put that together um, into a rough edit, tweaked it, added effects, transitions. Before you know it, I had a full music video. Did that in Final Cut Pro, which I'll put the link in the description. Is it perfect? No. Could I end up tweaking things forever? Yes. But you know, it is what it is. But I'm proud of it. So it's gonna be on all platforms. The whole process reminded me that creativity doesn't have to be about perfection. It's about bringing things to life, learning and growing. And honestly, that's what Portia and Friends is about. So if you've ever had a project that you were scared to start or doubted, um, you can finish, take this time, just go for it. Let's get into the music video.
Oppression, oppression. Scarlet rivers from Calvary's tree. One drop breaks every chain on me. Demons scream at the sound of his name. The lamp still reigns in a holy flame. Blood of the Lamb washes me whiter than snow. Blood of the Lamb, hell's got no claim. I'm letting go. No grave could hold him, no curse could stick. Hell's worst nightmare, he rose to so quick. Now his blood marks the redeemed. The tidal wave of mercy stream. Blood of the Lamb washes me whiter than snow. Blood of the Lamb, hell's got no claim. I'm letting go. Guilty clean, dead alive. The Lamb's own voice says you are mine. Washes me whiter than snow. Blood of the Lamb, hell's got no claim. I'm letting go.
Okay, so that was the video. So what did you think of the video?
Oh no, it was good. I know, like, we spoke offline and, talking about the use of, AI and stuff. No, you did, very good. I mean, you know how I feel about, you know, as far as for is creators today, using AI as a tool, where, a lot of people, frown upon it, because they feel like it's going to replace let's say actual actors or, artists or so forth, but no, I mean it was good. I mean, the I guess that's an AI image of the singer.
It is.
Yeah, no, I mean I was like very good, very good.
It was the AI image of the singer, and then there's other AI components in the video as well as additional stock footage.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, you told me, using certain, stock footage where, stock footage can be expensive, but, what, you were able to, I guess, type in and generate, or is that what you did?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
no, I mean that's the amazing piece with, AI, where like I said, I know some people, have their issues with it, but I feel like AI is nothing more than a tool and it's how you use it. And I feel AI, and these tools are democratizing, independent creators because independent creators do not have, let's say the money of these big studios and so forth.
yeah,
So yeah, no, I applaud you on it.
the Circuit Crusher logo that I animated as well.
Okay, yeah.
It was a static image and I turned it into a video.
Yeah, I was on Chat GPT yesterday, just, trying to create a logo and they asked you, did you want it animated? I'm like, oh wow, you animate stuff now? So I mean, it's amazing what, and it's only gonna get better over time. Of course, it has, it starts out, where you feel like, but even with your statement where you opened and said, about, just it doesn't have to be perfect, where I'm a total perfectionist. If it ain't right to me, I just don't. Everything has to be so with
I
me.
mean,
That's why. That's why things with me take a little while. But no, but to your point, it's never going to be perfect. Even when you put it out, you're going to find something wrong. So why not just take the dive and do it?
I know I found so many things wrong with that video, but there's so many things I want to do. But I had to do it in 2 days,
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
you
Yeah,
know.
but I mean, look, but even look at the views that you've gotten so far. I was like, wow, that's pretty good. I mean, now have you got any comments? Because I don't, I haven't read any of the comments.
There was only one comment on the video where the lady said it was good, you know.
Oh, okay, well that's good because I thought okay, you see the what do they call the thumbnail? I'm like, all right, I can imagine the
The hate.
the hate she's gonna get because she's using a black Jesus.
Well, I don't think it's so much about the representation of Jesus. It really I don't think it matters whether the color of Jesus, you know.
Yeah, depending who you're talking to, let's just say that because please, now when you hear the description of Jesus, I'm like, he's not pale.
People know that was not some white guy.
Yeah, well, shit, they have him looking like Kenny Loggins.
They do, but he's not.
But no, no, but I applaud you on like which I say to anybody today, just being creative. I know it sounds cliche using the Nike reference, just do it, but you have the tools available to you. Just do it. You never know.
And I just want to show uh the creative process that I did for the song.
Okay.
I hurt my finger, so for the chorus, it's just real simple. I don't want to sing, but I started with this.
Do you have it plugged in?
No,
Just from here, I can't hear nothing.
okay, okay.
So I guess the what he said, the isolation is like blocking it out.
I guess the voice, the this is low, so
Okay, gotcha, gotcha.
so that is the chorus, and this is a bridge.
Yeah, no, I didn't hear anything.
Okay, okay. I
I was
guess
like, oh, you had to give us a concert.
you know.
But yeah, no, like I said, I give you credit for what you did.
Okay, well,
Yeah, very nice, very nice. And this is an album.
how long?
Okay, okay, well, yeah, I will be sure to check it out.
It's on.
Well,
Yes,
doesn't DistroKid
District
distribute
gives you.
Apple Music,
Yeah, District Kid gives you Apple Music and iTunes,
Spotify?
Spotify, YouTube, those places.
Okay, cool, cool, cool,
Links will be in the description.
cool.
Okay, let's move on to the next topic here. Okay, we got several. I didn't want to read the full article, so we'll do a synopsis of the articles,
Okay,
and then we'll talk about them.
gotcha.
Okay. How right-wing individuals predicted that legalized same-sex marriage would lead to the end of civilization. These predictions made by prominent figures said the Pope and politicians were based on the same idea that changing traditional marriage and family structures would have disastrous consequences. However, the Supreme Court's 2015 decision in the Obergefell versus Hodges case, which legalized same-sex marriage in the U.S., had not led to the predicted collapse of society. Instead, support for marriage equality has increased and society has continued to function as usual. What are your thoughts?
It's the Christian right. They're always trying to saying same sex marriage would lead to the end of it's not. I mean, which always gets me with I'll just say gay marriage. How much gay people want to be committed to one another, and you got the heteros divorcing left and right. I mean, there are you know
Well, gay marriages are not
no,
the
no,
success.
I'm not saying all, but it's just the fact that you know I have a lot of straight friends, and when they talk about their relationships and stuff like that, I always laugh, and it's like, wow, how the LGBT community wants so much to be able to marry and stuff like that, where people have their preconceived notions of all gays want to just just party and have sex, and that's not true. Gay people, it's almost like we want the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I don't see it as, and there's so many examples of it. I know this one guy. I know he's a comedian. He's been doing comedy for years, but I know on his YouTube's um page, I don't know if you heard of him, Samson McCormick, I believe that's his name.
Oh yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, but he does a lot of just on gay relationships, and it's very what's that word? I mean, at least I'll say it makes me feel good seeing, successful, gay relationships or LGBT, relationships. Because I know he features a lot of, gay men, but just seeing those relationships, flourish. So I'm like, damn what the Christian right says. They always got something to say.
You're right, they do. I mean, but I think gay marriage is a good thing. I wouldn't necessarily have chosen the title for it, but I mean, as long as people are protected and have the same rights as everyone else, then I believe it's a good thing.
Well, yeah, I've said that for years. I mean, me personally, I never cared for the term, or, even if they wanted to call our civil unions, I look at it like a marriage, be it a business relationship, or a business relationship is considered like a marriage. I mean, I just feel like if two people want to share their lives with one another, they should be able to. It should not be no, you know, people, trying to not, trying to stop that. People should be able to. It's like, they always use where if you have a significant other and they're in the hospital and they'll say, "Oh, are you next of kin?" And because if you're not considered married, then you can't see them. And I just feel like if two people want to share their lives together, they should. So I was never against. I'm like, if the heteros want to have something, traditionally called marriage for them, and ours is called civil unions, fine, whatever. As long as the rules are the same across the board. That's the way I looked at it.
Yeah.
And then for them to always want to talk about it, destroying, what the sanctity of marriage. Well, I'm like, well, then y'all need to stop procreating because y'all don't know if y'all gonna have a gay kid or not.
Okay, let's move on to the next article.
Yeah.
Carrie Lake, a former TV news reporter and current senior advisor at the U.S. Agency for Global Media, was questioned by Democrat Representative Greg Stanton at the House Foreign Affairs Committee hearing. Stanton criticized Lake's character, highlighting her disputed election losses and attempts to discredit Stanton with unfounded rumors about his personal life. Responded by trying to gay shame Stanton, but he countered by sharing evidence that the rumors were baseless and reshared a tweet calling Lake's assertion bullshit. So what do you think of that?
The fascination that they have with you know people who are not like them, it is mind boggling. I mean, like, why do you care? Why do you care?
I'm like, why did she use personal attack?
Yeah, I know, but why? Yeah, but it's like, why do you care if he's gay or not?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get the facet. I don't. It's like, I mean, they wear, again. That's what when they talk about the separation of church and state. Yeah, me personally, I feel like your religious beliefs have no place in the public square. That's me. You can believe what you want, but don't always think like, oh, like, what I believe you got to believe too, because you see where this country's going. They want it to be a theocracy.
Exactly. Okay, so moving on to the next article. The web The webpage discusses the ninth anniversary of the Pulse tragedy in Orlando, Florida, and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' statement marking the occasion. DeSantis' statement was criticized for omitting references to LGBTQ and the Hispanic communities, which were directly impacted by the tragedy. This is not the first time DeSantis has faced backlash for his handling of the Pulse-related issues, and his actions are seen as part of a broader trend of erasure and exclusion of the LGBT individuals.
So what did he say? What did he say? Did they list what he said, or did they?
Well, he did left out references to LGBT and the Hispanic community.
So he just watered up and not acknowledge,
He didn't acknowledge he. he acknowledged the Pulse nightclub, but he didn't acknowledge the LGBTQ and Hispanic community.
So then why bring it up? Then why bring it up?
I don't
I
know.
mean, I just feel like okay,
They said he wants to erase the LGBTQ individuals from Florida.
I know, but I'm just saying, I'm not. I mean, it's like he brings up, you said it's the 10th anniversary.
The night.
Okay, the ninth anniversary of the Pulse, um, nightclub shooting and stuff like that. Why bring it up if you're not going to mention the people who were affected?
Well, Ron DeSantis doesn't like LGBT.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I just feel like what was his reasoning behind bringing it up? Did somebody like did a reporter ask him, "Oh, do you have anything to say about it being the ninth anniversary of the Okay, yeah, no, I'm just saying because I just feel like, because it just, I don't know, just the article seems a little vague. Where I get where you're coming from, where he wants to try to erase mentioning, the LGBT and the Hispanic community that where it happened, but it's just like, why bring it up then? If you're going to try to exclude the people that it happened to.
It's the same thing with the Stonewall where they remove references to LGBTQ on that.
Yeah, but it's like, oh yeah, I'm like, okay, Stonewall, is cemented in history, as an event that happened, in LGBT history, if you want, to say it like that, and for you to not to bring up LGBT or them dropping off the T, just it's just like I'm just like I can't stand these people. I can't stand these people.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wearing the perfect shirt for this episode, because it is. They, oh my, people make me sick. I tell you.
Yeah, people do.
Yes.
Okay, so the next article says Buttigieg has taken the lead in a recent poll amongst Democrats for the 2028 presidential nomination, surpassing the party's last nominee. According to the poll, Buttigieg received 31.5% of the vote, winning by uh, what's that, AOC at 19 point, and Kamala Harris at 16.6. The article highlights Burgess' strengths, including his ability to articulate the importance of government in scientific and technological advancement, and his experience as a former mayor of South Bend, Indiana. Thoughts?
So yeah, I guess people are saying what he could be like a front runner for the, you
He's a
know,
he's a supposed front runner.
I mean, we
I
had a bunch of.
I don't think this country is ready for gay men.
But see, well, see what I was gonna say. I mean, we've tried white men since the beginning of this country. We gave the black man a chance, and I'm like, why not try a gay person? I'm all for it. It's like the dude in New York City. We've tried capitalism forever. Let's try socialism for a little while.
Okay, I mean,
Yeah, I'm like, what's gonna kill you? Just knowing that somebody's. I mean, people to judge. He's a decent
people
person.
people you really got to get some voters in the red area,
Yeah, no, and I get that, but it's just like,
people who are there's a certain amount of people who are against LGBTQ.
yeah. Well, like I said, my thing is we tried everything else. Hey, well, hey, you see the nut we have in there right now, so it's like, hey, well, let's try the gay guy.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah, so am I. I mean, even when he was running, in what was it, 2020? I mean, what he was saying, I mean, he held his own up there.
And I've seen a Jubilee debate where he took on 20 MAGA people.
I didn't see that one. Was this that? I'm sure this was months ago because I recently watched the one with Mehdi Hassan, and I'm just like, Oprah's right. What she said years ago. It's going to take a generation of people to pass on for things to get better. But if this hate is continued, with younger people, it's never going to go anywhere.
And I saw the Medicine video too, and
Yeah.
it was totally berserk and bananas.
It was. I'm just like, we're going backwards. I can't believe this. We are going backwards.
I know.
No, it's horrible. It is. But no, I would, again, because I say I want to watch the one with Sam Cedar, but I heard somebody talking about the one with Pete Buttigieg, and I said, you know what, I'll give that a listen.
He did a great job, and he was very articulate, and
Did he at least convince them to like bring them to his side?
I mean, I don't think you could bring any MAGA people to your side.
Well, no, go on.
I think they're too far gone to bring them around.
Well, see, because that's funny, mentioning the Mehdi Hassan, where I guess they do like a post, debate after. Well, they show like, like a post segment after the debate, and one guy said, where he was like, "Here, I'm thinking I'm like, far right MAGA." He said, "I'm not like these people." So that's where I'm just saying, I mean, again, like I said, this is the only Jubilee surrounded debate I watched, and stuff, because you know how I feel about long videos.
Yeah, I don't like.
But but it was worth it. It really was. And I know what's his name, which I can't wait to see his, because Roland Martin's supposed to do one.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm anxious to see him do one. But no, the like I said, that Mehdi Hassan one, I mean the way he was just like, I can't believe you. The way he was just shaking his head like, and these are young people. So it's like, oh my gosh, if this is the younger generation, Generation Z, thinking like this, I mean, it's
Medi's Medi's good, and Pete Buttigieg is really good too. You know,
okay. Well, no, I will, give it a listen. But I mean, but back to, him running for president, I don't see why not. I'm like, hey, give people a chance. I'm like, we tried these other people, hey,
I just know that the country is not ready for it.
no, and I hear you. I mean, and I hate that statement all the time. Oh, where it's even like, when they, this is years ago when they were talking about Colin Powell. They'd be the man on the street asking, what do you think about Colin Powell? Oh, he speaks so well, or and stuff like that. Like black people are not articulate, or we're not smart, or we can't run. Like be president. It's like, I mean, come on.
And on that note, did you see the Obama interview?
I didn't, and I was, I knew, prior to us doing this episode, you told me about it's about having a gay friend, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't see it, but when I saw it, I knew somebody was doing, let's say, like a rebuttal video. So I said, what, I'm not even watching the video because I'm just gonna want to throw my shoe at the TV. So I said, I'm not gonna watch it because I already know. I just sometimes the thumbnail, or just the caption, you already know where they're going with it. Where I'm
and
just like,
I don't know why he said that, but he got all the right wingers uh totally pissed off.
well, are you going to play a little segment of it or something? Okay, yeah, no, because I would really like. I guess I should have really, watched. And again, that was the plan, but I told you what's going on at home, so I said, I
Okay.
want. Yeah.
Personal story. His college professor, who was gay, challenged his views and became a key mentor. Obama says these bonds teach empathy and prepare fathers to support LGBTQ plus kids. Barack Obama just declared every man needs a gay friend. He shared a
I had a gay professor in college at a time when openly gay folks still weren't online. Need that to show empathy and kindness. And by the way, you need that person in your friend group so that if you then have a boy who's gay or non-binary or whatever, they have somebody that they can go, okay, I'm not alone in this. Yeah. Right. I had a gay professor.
Okay, well, I mean, that's enough content. And what's wrong with what he said? What's wrong with that? I mean, I'm so sick of people like that. Like that's a problem. As much as they always want to say, oh, I don't care, about, sleep with who you want to sleep with. But then you have this problem, like if you have a gay friend in your life, what they're going to try to convert you or try to
Well,
sleep with
they
you.
feel all the liberals are friends of LGBTQ.
And what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? I mean, when he talked about empathy, kindness, like I said, I have a, like, I know I have a lot of young gay friends, and I'm happy for those that, have both their parents in their lives, and they're married, that their fathers did not look at them, as less than, or they, demonize them and stuff like that. Because we've all heard the stories, so many, LGBT people come out and they lose their family and stuff like that. And for me, I know that was a big part of me where as long as my family was accepting of me, then damn what everybody else thought, and stuff like that. So to me, you having like a mentor, like he said, him having a mentor, I don't see a problem with that because, that does teach you empathy and kindness of your fellow human being, regardless of, their sexual orientation. So I tell you, like I said, I'm wearing the perfect shirt for today. I can't stand people.
I agree. Okay, let's move on to the next article. Malcolm Jamal Warner, a former star of TV sitcom The Cosby Show, has died at 54 after grounding off the coast of Costa Rica. The actor was best known for his role as Theodore Huxtable on the popular 1985 to 1992 series, for which he received an Emmy nomination. Warner had a successful career spanning multiple TV shows, including Malcolm and Eddie, Read Between the Lines, and The Resident, as well as earning a Grammy Award for traditional R&B performance. What's your take on
Yeah,
that?
no, it's sad. It really is.
It really is.
I mean, watching, like I said, I was watching, how people post videos of, like clips from the Cosby Show on YouTube. So somebody, did like a mashup of, I guess, a lot of the scenes with Theo and stuff like that. And, I watched this probably like what, 2, 3 months ago. And, just, like I said, I mean, where a lot of people, say he was like our brother, and stuff like that. When you think of that show and, these are actors just playing a character, but the Cosby Show meant a lot to the African American, black community.
It did.
Yeah, and it did. Like I said, I even when I like I say I see, clips of, videos on, YouTube or Facebook and stuff like that. It always brings back memories for me. And just to hear him passing away like that, it's like, wow. It is. It's just shows that how fragile life is.
Yeah, it does. It really does. And he was so young.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that's, I mean, that's,
They,
I mean,
they said he was on the beach early in the morning and there were no lifeguards out there. And there probably
yeah,
was
I heard that. Yeah,
not there anyways. But I mean, people say why didn't why didn't he swim like closer to the shore?
yeah, but they talk about the undercurrent, can pull you in, and there's nothing you can do. I mean, people are almost. It's crazy how they're trying to blame you for your death, and even like some stupid, you know, right winger, going online, posting a comment saying, can we, prove once and for all that black people can't swim? I was like, yeah, I'm like, get the hell out of here. I mean, this is an ocean. It's not a pool.
It is.
It's like, come on. It's like, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all.
I agree.
Yeah, no, like I said, when I go on my Instagram feed, I mean, oh my gosh, I mean, and I don't want to use the word bombarded in a bad way, but just so much. No one, anybody who knew that man has nothing bad to say about him.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it's just like, yeah, just even like somebody even talking about, in a video I saw, just like the roles he took, and again, say what you want to say about, Bill Cosby, I guess, the acting profession, or just in entertainment and the way black people have been portrayed in, media, he was very, I'll just say careful in the roles he took. He didn't want to play derogatory roles. And, that comes from just even the roles that Bill Cosby even, played. He liked playing those dignified roles, showing us in a good light.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I commend him, for what he's done. And just even for, just even in the 54 years, just a lot of stuff he's done, from acting, being a musician and just, spoken word artist.
Yeah,
He's passed on, but he will live on through, media, and the stuff he's done.
I think he will.
Yeah, and my condolences to his family and stuff. It's sad.
I know. And I think he just got married or something.
Yeah, he was even private with that. And then even when you hear about the relationships he's had with, I guess other people, in his profession, he dated Regina King. Yeah, he even dated, the young lady, I forgot her name, but she played Justine, on the Cosby Show.
Okay.
Yeah, he dated her and stuff like that. It's just like it's just sad. Like I said, like when just even like seeing people I don't follow on social media, but social media is about discovering people. So just seeing actors that I've known throughout the years and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, they're still around and stuff like that, and just seeing them posting photos of him. Even okay, my favorite singer, Rasan Patterson, he's been in, the entertainment business for over 30 years. He posted a photo of him on his page. And, just, a lot of people are heartbroken over this. Like, wow, such a nice guy. We all grew up. It's like they all came up together in this business and stuff like that. And it's just a shame to see, somebody in their field, pass, tragically.
I know. I know. It's a shame. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at this video from the Deal Whisperer. But he
Oh,
did
another
he did
one.
he didn't talk about me, but he's talking about trans people in general. Let's take a look at it.
Okay.
And during the straight people, gay people don't really fuck with the transformers either. Like, I just be looking around like, do y'all see gay men running to defend them, or do you see just them defending them? Oh, okay, so all it is like kill it, because I'm literally sick of it. Every single motherfucking day, you got the trans people, man. I'm sorry that you are a man in a wig. I'm sorry that you are a man. I'm sorry that you can't change biology. I'm sorry that you can't do anything but lay on your back. Why do we never see trans people becoming doctors and lawyers and notable researchers or anything of importance? The only thing we see them do is lay on their motherfucking back and complain and tell us that they have to sell their bodies. So when you decided to be a pervert and do all of these alterations and change yourself and do all of this to yourself because you couldn't make it as a man, then you decided that all you were going to be good for was being a toy for some perverted ass men. That's why all y'all do is sit around and bring up men. Men this, men that, men this, men that. You are a man. Like, you would think you wanted to not be a man so much. You would think you would be not man-centered. Like, you literally changed everything to get away from being the man that you were. And now all you can talk about is men. That's literally ass backwards. But what would I expect out of men who thought that they could become women? You're never going to be born a woman, and you're never going to be able to live as a woman. So that's what you need to focus on, because y'all are so mad at me. I'm sitting over here living in my motherfucking truth, and you bitches can't take it. And that's why you're upset. You look a fucking mess. You're taking all of the motherfucking hormones for what? We still can see that you're a man. Y'all be doing all of that, and we still can see that you're a man. That's why you look to other men for validation. That's just like DL, man. And I'm going to stay on your asses because clearly you deserve it, and clearly you need it, because you're not going to give me no motherfucking work. And to say that I'm jealous of you, that's crazy, because I can sit up here naturally. Meanwhile, don't you have to take your hormones? Don't you have to take your other types of medicines too? And guess what? Even when you realize that right now you're just going through a mental health crisis and you want to become a man again, you're still going to have to be on hormones for the rest of your life. I don't have to do any of that, because guess what? I'm not trans. Just know I didn't have to go and get the skin peeled back on my face to get my cheekbones shaved or to get any fillers. I didn't have to get no lip fillers. I didn't have to get my Adam's apple shaved. I didn't have to go get boobs added. I didn't have to go get rhinoplasty. I didn't have to go get any of that. A facelift. I didn't have to do any of that. I damn sure didn't have to get a face feminization surgery. None of that. Y'all are literally built in a lab. Like, this is literally giving experiment because y'all doing all of that and you still look a fucking mess. So get on your good foot and get off my dick.
He's an LGBT hater.
I mean, he definitely is a trans woman hater.
Now he's gay. He's just gay.
He's pretty gay.
Okay, he's gay. And I
He's
take by the name DL Whisper, what he tries to expose what?
DL man.
Straight men? Huh?
DL man. He tries to expose DL man.
See, what is the purpose of all that? I mean, don't get me wrong. No, I mean,
Let me say this
no,
about
go on. I'm sorry, go on.
he looks like a fucking mess. He's feminine, which to me is a bad thing. I mean, I definitely don't.
I'll say I disagree with. I mean,
I definitely disagree with this. I definitely
no, I hear you on what he's saying about trans people. I don't like what he's saying either. But I mean, but for you to say him being feminine, a gay man. I mean, gay men, we come in all flavors. I know the thing with a lot of gay men, they want you to be masculine, but there are, we have, feminine,
but
quote unquote sissy men.
who makes you be like a woman? Who wants to be a woman so bad?
I think because he's feminine, he wants to be a woman. He just you have soft guys. You do, and again, you could say
But
it's
soft guys are like, I don't know. I mean, how could they could be around women and that makes them soft? I don't know.
Well, no, you got to figure. You never know. I mean, again, I'm speaking from the purview of someone who's gay. I mean, someone who's gay that's more feminine. He probably grew up around a lot of women, and mimicked.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
he tries to mimic.
Yeah, no, I know what you're getting at, but I'm just saying if you want to say mimic or you're when they even say that saying you're a product of your environment. So he is probably around, a lot of women, sassy women and stuff like that. And I mean, I don't want to say he was touched or anything because I know a lot of people want to say, oh, he's gay because, he was molested or something. No, that's not the case. You know, um but again, like our straight counterparts, we're just not one way. You got gay people that come overly masculine. You got some that are, feminine. Yeah, I've said that before. Well, damn, some of you feminine gays should have just been women. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I don't.
He's more feminine than I am.
Well, yeah, I mean, but to each his own. But for him, I just don't like where he comes at it from, like a hate, for
Yeah,
trans people.
his thing is, I want to protect the woman. That's what he's saying. He's out here exposing, um, I guess deal men to help women, and women follow his advice.
Again, I get. Well, I'll say women don't follow his advice. Don't follow his
Yeah,
advice
I would say don't.
because to me, all he's doing is making you hate another human being.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, to me, if somebody happens to be trans, okay, you don't have to agree with their quote unquote lifestyle,
You don't
but
have
I
to
mean,
live it. You don't have to live it.
yeah, but you don't have to demonize it either, because you have I know a lot of people have their issues with the term cisgender and all that other stuff where people say no, I just call me a female or a woman. I get it, and stuff like that. But if somebody self-identifies, who's trans as a woman, just call them what they self-identify as. Even like I said, even if you know in your heart of hearts that this person biologically, was a man. If they're living their life as a female, what's wrong with calling them that? I mean, I'm so sick of the meanness. I'm so sick of the meanness. And just
No.
even for you to be the person who's outing people, I mean, that's not a good thing either. I mean, yes, I don't, particularly like, and when I say like, I don't particularly like, let's say like messing with DL guys. But again, but at the same time, guys who are DL, they're gonna come out when they want to come out. And to me,
Exactly.
you trying to be the person to like, force them out. I mean, it's like stop it.
I mean, even I messed around with a lot of DL guys. I never, well, I'm gonna say in the past 5 years, I haven't exposed anyone.
Yeah, no, and to me, that's it's not for you to expose. I mean, it's not for you. I mean, again, if you want to say, do I have an issue with it? I mean, because we'll always say whatever year it is, we'll be saying this in 2026. It's 2026. Nobody cares that you're DL and stuff like that.
And I could say to the DL whisperer, he could hear me. Mark my words. He he deals with masculine gay guys. That's what he deals with. Masculine gay guys.
Yeah,
He doesn't deal he doesn't deal with DL men like I do.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. You have plenty of gay, feminine gay guys. They like, when they say opposites attract. He's feminine, so he wants to be with someone who's more masculine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, so it's like okay, and again, I have
He would be the like with someone like you.
exactly. Well, again, because I'm not saying me personally, I don't think he's ugly. I mean, if you would ask me, would he be my type? I have nothing against guys who are feminine. I don't, you know, and so I don't, I don't, you know, but I don't like what he's doing, just like on the surface level of trying to expose people.
I know it's really messy,
Did
and
you do this?
I did this.
But yeah, I mean, to each his own. But yeah, but you got people like that, feel like they're gonna expose people. I mean, what does that get you?
I know what is to get you. I mean, no, but he's like he's like this young femme guy who doesn't have any role models who could properly train him, teach him, or something like that. You know?
Yeah, because even at the same time, you have people, let's just say in the LGBT community, I'm just saying the whole community as a whole, that despise people, or let's just say the gay community alone, just the gay community, that despise feminine guys like you. Because you got a lot of, people in the gay community, they don't like guys who are extra. They just to be regular. It's almost like you could be gay, but you could be, it's almost like present yourself in the world like you're, straight acting.
I mean, yeah, I prefer gel with gay guys who are act masculine, like all the guys who came out to the luncheon that we did. They're all
Yeah, no,
masculine.
and I get that, yeah, but at the same time, I'm never one. Again, see, again, this is me not discriminating. Like I said, he comes off as a LGBT hater. You know,
Yeah.
it was a group of people and it happened to be somebody who was gay, let's say masculine, somebody who was feminine gay, and somebody was trans. I'm not looking at it as a bad thing. We should have those spaces as a community where we can all coexist, but the way he comes off is like, and like he's trying to teach women about, I mean, again, that's his what do you call, that's his take on, the trans community. But to me, I mean, it's like, well, damn, do you know anybody trans to,
Yeah,
to,
he probably does not know anyone.
yeah, because okay, let's say one of his friends came to him and say, I don't know his name, so I'm gonna say, hey, DL Whisper, I'm transitioning. And this is your friend of many years. Are you gonna disown them? I mean, like, I mean, again, I know we've had this conversation on the podcast many times. When you told me, about you, and stuff like that. Yeah, you're my friend. And again, like I always come at it like people got to be happy at the end of the day. And if this is who you say you are, and this is the way you've always felt, then yeah, I mean, I accept you. Like I said, I was very happy because I haven't seen you in person since we hung out the last time with
Yeah.
the group of friends, and seeing you come out in the world as your authentic self. I was very proud of you.
Well, thank you.
No, I really was. I was like, because I get it, like I could say, from when I was seeing you, on a regular basis, you did mention that, you didn't go out in public, because
I
you
did.
said, you said I live in this apartment where they know me coming out, as, let's just say presenting myself to the world as a male. So if they saw me coming out, as a female, they'd be like, wait a minute, but when you told me you were changing your IDs and stuff like that, and then finally seeing you, what, 2 weeks ago and stuff like that, I was like, okay, so I said this all makes sense, she's presenting herself, and you said you've been presenting yourself out in the world,
Yeah.
for a
Well,
while now, a long while now.
well,
So
since last August.
okay, yeah. So to me, like I said, I commend you, and it's like when we say living in our truth, you're living in your truth. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, but I guess getting back onto the topic of the Deal Whisperer, I
Yeah.
mean, he probably he probably has zero trans friends, and
Yeah.
he's like he claims he's helping women, but he's really hurting them.
Yeah. And again, I say that all the time. Like I said, I mean,
He's exposing all these men, and if you think you're gonna stay free from doing that, you got another thing coming.
yeah, somebody gonna try to beat your ass.
Yeah, or kill you.
Yes. Well, that too. I mean, I don't wish that on anybody, but no, I know what you're saying. Yeah. So it's like, stop it. It's like, I don't know. I mean, again, it's so crazy that we got enough hate in the world. We got hate in the gay community or the LGBT community.
Yeah, I think, to be a perfect example of how two people can be friends who are you're gay, I'm trans.
And again, we've known each other for a long time. So when told me, I'm like, well, am I going to, disown her now? I mean, okay, yes, if you want to say, okay, you were my brother years ago. Now I have another sister in my life. So I mean, that's the way I look at it. I mean, if this makes you happy, and I can see that like I said, you are comfortable in yourself. Like I said, I was very proud of you, when we all met up and went out to, brunch. And I was like, people got to be happy. As much as we talk about, okay, with Malcolm Jamal Warner and just passing young, so young, life is short. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but life is, and people have to be happy. My mother always says, my mother would always say to me, "You come this way once, you better be happy."
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the only thing I can the only thing I regret is transitioning so late.
Yeah, but I mean, but you know what? As they also say too, it's never too late. Even like, you're talking about your creative endeavor. I know a lot of people feel like, I'm too old. I even despise that saying, like, oh, you're too old to do anything. No, if you want to do something, do it. You're never too old or to make a change in your life. I know it's a Nike saying, but just do it.
Right.
Yeah. I should be a motivational speaker. Let me see.